Alrighty, welcome everyone to Boulderfest X here at Urban Climb Milton. This is our 10th Boulderfest, and you are tuning in just before the finals for the Open A competitors, the men and the women, is about to kick off. As you can see on the screen, we've got Nick and Phoebe, our in-house MCs down there, just revving up the crowd, getting everyone ready. I am Patrick Bander. I'm one of the senior route setters here. Hello. Should be on screen there. And I am joined by the head route setter of the event, Daniel Gordon. How you going, Dan?
Really good. Thanks for introducing me, Pat. Very happy to be here tonight.
Dan, how are you feeling right now? It's been a pretty long week. We've had 2 days of competition. A lot of stuff has been going on. Tell me in general sort of how you're feeling about everything that's happened.
So, feeling pretty tired. That would be my first honest response.
Yep.
But also just extremely excited for this finals, and also a little bit emotional because it's our 10th competition. This particular competition, Boulderfest, which has meant so much to so many people, a part of the urban climb community.
For sure.
And so it's kind of a very tiring, fatigued feeling for you and I, having climbed and route set so much, but also just so excited to watch what's going to happen in this final.
Definitely. There's a lot of emotions going on. I am extremely excited. We're just seeing the athletes come out now. We've got, if we can bring up the ladies list here, I'll introduce them for you.
You'll have to excuse us a little bit, guys. We're much better route setters than we are commentators.
This is Dan and my first time commentating, so please excuse us for any hiccups. We will, I'm sure, entertain you with our incompetencies as well. So our first competitor was Grace Jaristo. Then we had Jessica Pena, Elizabeth Caskelli. We've just got Anna Davey coming out onto the mats there. 4 really talented climbers already. Next up, we've got Charlotte Garden. I believe she's a UK expat.
Yeah, originally from the UK, now living in Tasmania.
Very cool. And finally, we've got Emma Horan, who qualified top of the field for the Open A women. So that's our 6 finalists for the ladies. And it's going to be, I think it's going to be really exciting watching these girls compete. They're all really, really good climbers. Dan, did you want to introduce us for the boys?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me just bring up our male list onto our screen here for the viewers at home. Okay, so first out we had Chase Gatlin, Kiwi climber. Second out, we had Khosrow Hashemzadeh. Hope I'm saying that right.
Kozi.
Our head coach here at Urban Climb. Third out, we have Jessie Raffini, who is just finished juniors as a national Australian level athlete. Now we have Yuta Matsuzaki, who we saw in the finals at Urban Climb Boulderfest Victoria 4 weeks ago. Second last out is Alistair Early, who's probably been in every single final since he was, able to climb in this competition. And the one and only, the man himself, Samuel Bowman. So that's our finalists, male and female, some very, very talented climbers there. Tell us a little bit about what they had to do to qualify to get to be in the finals, Pat.
So if you're unfamiliar with the event, the Boulderfest is basically a pump fest format. As you can see, the other half of the gym still has some of the boulders left up from the pump fest heats. So these climbers would have been climbing in a 2.5-hour session where they essentially had the 2.5 hours to climb as many boulders as possible. Now the top 8 boulders that they scored would go towards their final score, and that would qualify them for the finals round, which we are now commencing. So in the gym we had climbs ranging from V0 all the way up to I don't know how would you say the hardest boulder in the gym was?
Probably like V9.
V9.
Yeah. So really, really powerful, really hard.
Yeah. So lots of different styles, and also the scoring system really focused on climbers having to focus really hard on every boulder, even though they had ample time to try them. The score would diminish for every attempt. Is that right, Dan?
Yeah, that's right. So this year, for the first time in our qualifying Pump Fest round, we added 5 potential different point values to each boulder for the climber. So when they flashed the boulder, they got the highest number of points available. Second attempt, the points value decrease, so on, all the way down to 5th attempt and beyond that being the lowest value available for that problem. So let's go back to directly what's on our screen here, maybe explain for people at home what's going on. So we'll see like what looks like a lot of sort of hand gestures and the climbers pointing at the wall. Tell us what they're doing exactly, Pat.
So the climbers are now having a viewing period where they can go through boulder by boulder and check out the holds and the features that are on the wall that they're going to be climbing on. As you can see, they're touching the volumes, making sure they sort of get the geometry and the texture, get an idea of it. And I think they're also sort of discussing the sequences. They basically get 2 minutes per boulder to try and solve it. They can share ideas with each other or they can keep to themselves. But because they only have 4 minutes to solve the boulder later in the competition, we have to give them some sort of viewing period so they can get an idea of what they're up against.
Great, so we see the male field visualizing, studying their second boulder, which is this just pure black set of flat hold superstars and scoops. And it looks quite burly. Did you test this one, Pat?
I had a quick try at it towards the end of the day, and which is probably not the best time to be trying a final men's boulder of this category. But I did have a quick play, and it felt incredibly hard. These guys can climb like crazy, so it's going to be really impressive to watch them battle against this for sure.
So you can see they start down the bottom there. Each piece of tape at the bottom resembles one limb that must be in control on that hold before they leave the ground or as they leave the ground. So you can see 3 limbs must be touching the scoop on the right. Halfway through the problem, there's what's called the zone hold. This is basically like a bonus or extra scoring hold that the athlete can attain on their way to the top. 2 hands on the hold at the top of the wall gives them the top, and they're awarded the top of that boulder. So the idea is obviously, if you haven't watched much World Cup bouldering format before, they want to take all 4 tops. There's 4 boulder problems. The tiebreaker down from that is to take also all 4 zones, and then the tiebreaker down from that is how many attempts does it take you to take the tops that you achieved, and below that is how many attempts to take the zones that you achieved.
We mentioned as well earlier that they have 4 minutes to try these boulders, and you mentioned the similarities to the World Cup style final. One difference I believe we should note is that we're actually running a 4+ format. Is that right?
Yeah, so we are still running 4 minutes plus, which means that as long as the athlete pulls onto the boulder problem before their 4-minute counter has ended, they can still keep climbing that attempt on that boulder problem. They will not be pulled off the wall as soon as the 4-minute timer goes past. Something that's, I guess, because this is a social comp, just a little bit more entertaining and fun for the crowd. So we've just decided as the headsetters that we'd like to keep it in. So
I think it makes for a really exciting show at times. I can remember some really cool moments in previous competitions that we've had where that extra minute at the end has really been like the nail-biting moment.
Oh, absolutely. It's probably won it for someone along the 10-year road. So here we have the F3. So, Pat, you were in charge of setting or leading the team that was setting the female finals boulders. So this is the F3. Maybe you can tell everyone at home a little bit about what it's meant to do, how it climbs. Yeah, just what it's about, really.
Sure. So throughout the round, we've tried to, and I'm sure you've done the same in the men's round, we've tried to create really clear diversity in the boulders. We don't want every climb to sort of test the same amount of the same skills. We really wanted each boulder to have its own character, its own soul. So the F3 boulder that we're viewing right now, I would say is the girls' most powerful boulder. As you can see, we've got the flat hold Thunderbirds on a pretty steep wall there. I believe it's about a 30-degree wall overhanging. And these Thunderbird holds are sort of big, awkward, pinchy holds that taper away from the tip. So you have to really place your hand well, use a whole hand force. And as the climb sort of ascends up the wall, you can see the volumes towards the top there have some micro edges on them. So this boulder is essentially just designed to test their power, their shoulder strength, pinch strength, a bit of crimping, and I think you'll see some interesting body positioning coming into play as well.
Awesome, sounds good. So over here, you can see Will Hammersler, one of the senior setters for the competition, works down in Urban Climb Victoria at the moment. He is the route setter who's helping the athletes with understanding the boulder, taking any questions that they might have about how to climb it, judging decisions, etc. He's just on the right of the screen there. So this is our finishing boulder for the men, and it's kind of, I think it's really cool. We've brought back the stalactites, which we used in the 2015 Lead Nationals at Urban Climb West End, sort of meant to be a tribute to a previous competition.
One of the great moments, I think, of Urban Climb competition history was the stalactites on the lead wall.
Oh, absolutely. We connected two walls together just via these two stalactites. So something we wanted to do, because it's 10-year, was tribute a previous epic finals hold or move from previous competition. And so, yeah, we had to get the stalactites back out. Yeah. So this boulder is...
You can see Sam having a bit of a giggle there.
Yeah.
Maybe in disbelief that he has to climb on the stalactite again.
Yeah. No, it's a bit of nostalgia for anyone who's been on the Urban Climb journey. They'll find it quite funny to see them again. So 4 starting limbs on that bottom stalactite, and then out to this sort of what we call a jigsaw series of volumes. They're all stacked on top of each other, designed to be a little bit problem-solving and confusing perhaps. But at its core, this is a really grip-strong, powerful boulder. Really to see which of the athletes has the power left in their grip, in their forearms at the end of the round.
Yeah, it's interesting because it looks like there's a lot on the wall, but it doesn't look like there's a lot to actually hold on to.
Yeah, there really isn't. There's one really cool move in the middle as well, where you have to throw just at a blank volume almost. So we can see them heading off. So they'll go back into isolation now. Our MCs will probably G up the crowd. And then what's going to happen is we're going to start with our F1 and M1 boulder, bring out one athlete at a time from our last qualifying. So we'll see Grace, and we're also going to see Chase come out first. Yeah. Oh, we're back on screen.
Oh, well, we're back on screen. So that's what the finalists lineup is. That's the boulders that they're going to be tested on. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about the setting week, Dan. I was here with you, and we had a very talented team of setters. Maybe you can tell us who the setters were and sort of what the vibe of the week was like. We had, I think, 4 setting days in total. What was the workload like for us, and sort of how did we manage day by day?
Yeah, so that's interesting. So we started on, well, I started a couple of weeks ago planning and putting together the team that we wanted to work with for the competition. A mixture of people we work with regularly and some guest setters. We all assembled on Sunday night here at Urban Climb Milton and stripped off the wall entirely, which was fun after close. And then we spent the next 4 days really putting together all of the competitions. So the first day we set our finals. So we haven't seen these for almost a week now, these boulders. And yeah, we spent the sort of first day and a half putting together this finals round, and then working from our hardest qualifying to our easiest qualifying boulders that way, as our body and mind got more tired. It makes more sense to do your less prestigious like boulders towards the end of your setting week.
And somehow it all feels just as hard throughout the week, even though you're climbing easier and easier boulders.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're just getting more and more torn down.
I have a flapper like on my hand that takes up a whole pad just from trying this M4 boulder that we're going to see tonight. So it's definitely taken its toll on us as a setting team. A lot of physicality in the work, a lot of thinking too, but also a lot of fun. Had a really, really talented team. Obviously yourself, Patrick, but a lot of long-term setters like William Hammersler, who's been setting for about a decade probably with us as well in competitions. Blair, Campbell, Mitch Keft, been setting for almost that amount of time as well. Genya, who's been setting for a couple of years with us as well. She was on your team for the females.
Yep.
We had the return out of retirement of Johnny Schwartz.
Dr. Schwingerling.
Yeah, Dr. Schwingerling himself. The most talented, like, rhythmic 5-move jumping route setter ever.
Parkour master.
Yep. So Johnny is pursuing a PhD in AI, but he still likes to dabble in his route setting, so he's come back up for this competition to set with us. It was really, really fun having him back. Yeah, and also Media Nosrati, who competed in the Open A's yesterday. She's one of our newer setters, and she joined us for one day to help put up some of the easier boulders. So really great team. A lot of fun people to work with, not too serious, which is what
I think
you and I like.
Yeah, in a job like this where you're working, day after day, you're lifting heavy things, you're having to climb hard boulders, you're going up and down ladders. It's really important to surround yourself with people who sort of help you keep sane, keep their morale up. And I think we've always been really lucky to be working with route setters who just bring a lot of fun to the job. So
yeah, absolutely.
I think it's been a really great week.
All right, let's see what the crowd's doing. So we've got. Okay, we're just cutting to our male finalists again, just so you can see them on screen. We've got Sam Bowman, Alistair Early, Yuta Matsuzaki, Jesse Raffini, Khosrow Hashemzadeh, and Chase Gatlin. So we've got a mixture of local and international talent. Yeah, do you know much about Chase?
I've seen Chase compete at other comps. I was involved with the Boulder Hub Catalyst competition. I saw him in the finals there. Very talented climber. So with competitions, you always sort of tend to attract people who aren't local, and it's really handy to have been around and seen these climbers at different competitions just to get a gauge of sort of what people are capable of. It's really can catch you off guard when you get a dark horse come through and you're just like, who is this guy?
Yeah, I totally did not know Chase. I don't think I've ever had to set for him before in an Australian competition, but watching him climb yesterday in the qualifiers, he just knows how to move, this guy. Really good at moving, not just all about the power, it seems.
And similar thing could be said for Yuta Matsuzaki. I first saw Yuta climb down in the Collingwood Boulderfest that we had just over a month ago, and same thing. He was just showed up for the competition. I had never seen him, heard of his name before, and he was a shoo-in for the final and really impressive to watch climb. So I think it's going to be a really exciting round for the guys. Yeah,
absolutely. All 6 of these male and female climbers could win this thing in their outright themselves. It's really hard to call who's going to win this thing. Who's your money on for the men though, Pat?
I mean, I feel like I have to back my homeboy Sam Bowman. I just love watching the guy climb. He always looks so in control, cool and calm. We should focus on the action now. We got Chase Gatlin coming out for his first boulder, and the MCs are just geeing up the crowd with a bit of a slow clap. It's a Nick Tierney special.
Our MC, his favorite thing to do is the slow clap. So we didn't get to really view the M1 earlier. Sorry about that. So it looks like they have to jump out to the lip and then
Oh, here we've got Grace starting off on the F1 boulder with a bit of a risky step up to the starting position. Here she goes again. So this is the second attempt. Oh, just needs a little bit more height there, it looks like.
What do you think she needs to do there, Pat? Just a longer run up, bit more power?
I think you just have to be really not scared of just launching yourself at the wall. Those volumes are quite shallow.
He's having a good
here
time.
we go,
So
Grace.
Chase is up on...
So it looks like he's stuck the jump move at the start. He's on the zone.
He's received the zone already. So
And now he's working his way to the top. So we've got a crazy toe hook move in the roof here.
how's this going to work for him? What do you think? It looks like it's pretty out of reach of your hand. He's trying to problem solve a way to get his hand to where his toe hook is.
Oh, and he's off there. Looks
Really
like a
difficult.
solid effort from him. Here we go. Grace is on again. Very nice start from Grace. Not sure if she'll be awarded the starting position for right foot came off the volume before a match on the top hold. But regardless, she's off there just after the start.
Yes,
Might be something for the judges to keep an eye on.
the judge didn't pull her down, so it looks like they didn't notice it, and we'll keep going ahead. So there's Ola, our event manager, running across the screen. So Chase here, it's pretty taxing physical boulder. He gave that quite a bit because he wanted to flash it. He's just going to shake out for a second, really time maybe 2 or 3 really good attempts at this boulder.
Yeah, it looks like, even though it's a fast explosive boulder, it looks like it takes a really long time to have a good try on it. So you really have to make those attempts count.
Yeah, and here goes Grace again.
For another one.
And that was a
Okay.
really, really good start. She seems to have worked that out nicely.
And so it looks like she's got all the holds to keep her on the wall, but everything sort of tends to be facing away. Using a bit of pressure there through the legs and through the hands. Oh, there we go. She's
And we've got Chase
she's getting
again.
better, I think. She's slowly learning the movement. Here we got Chase back on the roof.
So what do you think for the viewers at home that Chase could improve on for this move here? Pat?
Well, it looks like he's changed up his sequence a bit. He's put his left hand where his right hand was previously, and he's trying a bit more of a dynamic approach. You were involved in the setting of this round, Dan. Maybe you can give us some secret insight in a second, because we're back with Grace here. She's taken a minute, get her breath back, having another crack. Ooh, not quite enough pressure there.
She must be up to about 5 attempts at the moment. Let's hope she can go through now and take that very crucial zone hold on the right. You can see the zone label and the tape attached to the black volume out on the right side. So she needs to get a hand onto that and control to take some sort of a scoring point on this boulder. So what does she need to do here, Pat?
I think she's starting to get the right idea. She's slowly learning the body position that sort of keeps you in position here. The really important part I found was keeping the pressure underneath the volume to push against your feet, which are on, you know, kind of deep holds, but they're sloping away from you. They're very easy to slip off of. So it's just about taking it slow, whilst on the other hand, we've got Chase here on a bit of an explosive boulder. Maybe tell us what you think he should be trying out here.
Yeah, you got to kind of go all your eggs in one basket and get a lâché going, which he's just found out, but unfortunately a little bit too late. Let's hope he can stick it. Oh,
So
he's gone with the toe
he's
hooks into
gone
the
back
jug
with toe.
again.
So we should note the timer has run out now, but because of the 4+ format, Chase can stay on until he comes off there. Grace must have gotten on at the last second as well. She's working her way through.
She seems to have found that like upward pushing
Yeah,
pressure
yeah.
that you were talking
She's
about.
doing really
So-
well.
Oh my goodness.
Oh wow,
Leading
that
out with
is
the toe
interesting.
hook. Come on,
Really
Grace,
important
fight for
to
it.
not get frazzled here. Keep your cool. Oh, she's doing really well to keep herself on there.
Fantastic shot.
Wow, excellent effort. So she's taken the zone there. She'll be awarded that zone. And she now can keep working to the top of the boulder. Bit of smearing on the wall here. She looks quite comfortable with that little jib. That volume is quite positive. So now she just has to do a bit of a move to that sloper. And once again, the feet start to kind of skate away from you here. The terrain has changed. We're now in a steep territory. A little bit more power involved. But she looks like she's doing a banging job staying on. She just has to do that one last move to the finish hold. Incredible! That is what we love to see.
That was amazing. She topped it after the clock.
Yeah, that is, I would say, as a root setter, that's like the dream moment. You have that last second attempt on the wall, and you really make it count. I have chills right now, Dan.
That was pretty cool.
And that's only the first climber of the round, so really exciting stuff.
So she took the zone and the top in the same attempt. Was that something you were sort of hoping would happen, or you weren't sure would happen? You wanted it to be more like maybe they take the zone, wouldn't take the top?
I think we initially just wanted this first boulder to be more of a, not particularly the hardest boulder of the round, but maybe something that would at least take you a few attempts to sort of get a feel for. Something that looked harder to climb than it actually is.
Yeah, absolutely.
So in that sense, I think it worked out really quite well. She got that top on, I think it was her sixth attempt,
least
maybe 7?
5 to 7, I would say. We can pull it up in a sec.
We've got the second round of climbers now coming on to the boulders. So we're still running with the first round boulders. We've got Jess Penner on the women's 1 and Khosrow Hashemzadeh. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, Hashemzadeh.
Hashemzadeh. So he's just come off on his first attempt at the jump there. And Jess has just missed that starting position. Looks like a really good attempt though.
So both of our climbers missing their first attempt. Khosrow is a really experienced competition climber.
Really interesting sequence there, trying to do the jump in a 2-part, sort of as a in a 2-movement jump rather than Chase's.
Yeah, we saw Chase just pretty much grab it and hold on to it. You think Khosrow is capable of doing the same? Oh, and just almost gets established. Do you think Khosrow can just hold on to it?
I mean,
yeah, there you go.
Question answered.
So he's probably overthinking that a little bit.
Probably. Do you think that happens a lot with athletes coming out to, especially the first bowl, they're probably quite nervous?
Absolutely.
They're thinking, oh, these guys are trying to trick me. There's something really complex going on here, and they just get in their own heads.
Yeah, absolutely. No, you're definitely right. It's a big crowd, and also being at home, there's a lot of pressure for these guys like Khosrow, and yeah, it's really easy to lose your head or your sequence quite quickly, or start to overthink some moves. You and I did a bit of competing this year, and it's definitely hard, no matter how experienced or good you are at climbing. Not to big note both of us, but
for sure.
yeah, it's really easy how it can dissolve when you're under pressure, just keeping calm and trying to back your skills, not getting pulled into the root setter's riddle, or it's almost like one of those things where like the more experienced you are, the more ways you can think of like doing things, or like that you could try something,
you
and so you like
overthink
a little bit. So
Jess showing
just
great
hanging on.
strength through the back there, just pulling herself in, and a little foot slip sends her off.
So Jess has been around for a while. She coaches at Urban Climb as well. Could you tell the viewers at home a little bit about Jess?
So I believe she's come up through our kids program as a student. She's been with Urban for quite a while, and starting off as a student, she came up through the geckos, goannas programs and the spiders. And I'm not super familiar with the coaching program up here, Dan, but
Khosrow's just sorry to interrupt you. Khosrow's back on for an attempt. Let's see if he tries for a static method or something a bit more dynamic this time. So we think if you've been watching Ninja Warrior lately, you can get a big swing going, lâché, but it's also I really hope someone goes for a big lâché. It's not a natural instinctive climbing move.
Yeah.
Because we taught to use our feet quite a bit, but hopefully we see it.
Jess looks a little bit stumped there. She gives a little bit of a shake of the head. Not really sure how to maneuver that first volume to the next hold there. Taking her time to recollect and have a think. You mentioned that there's a potential lâché move that you want to see here, Dan. When it comes to sort of inspiration for the boulders for the finals, obviously they have to be we try and make them quite grandiose or very special. Where do you tend to draw inspiration from? It's just things that you've seen, like Ninja Warrior you mentioned? Wow, solid.
Oh, Jess is up. Let's just follow Jess for a sec here.
Just needs to work on her pressure points there.
Costo nailing that start now. This would be his last attempt.
Yeah, we can hear the timer going off in the background. 3, 2, 1. And that is 4 minutes up. Kozro is still on the wall. I think Jess has just come off her last minute attempt. Let's see if Kozro can pull something out of the bag here.
I think it's definitely possible to static it, but you need to get the left hand on that zone hold and do a quick snatch to bring your right hand to your right toe hook. Looks like he's going for the lache.
Oh! He's just had a
He's
go
just
there at
had
the
a
end.
moment of realizing, I've just watched the full season of Ninja Warrior. Why didn't I try that? That's really unfortunate for him. I think in hindsight, he'll look back and...
see that as the obvious.
yeah, he really should have just taken a swing a bit earlier.
Really interesting move there. I can't remember the last time I saw a move like that in a final bouldering comp.
I really haven't seen one for quite some time. So our new competitors coming out, we've got Elizabeth Cuss-Kelly, qualified in 4th on the females. And we have Jesse Raffini, Big Man Raffini, as his friends call him, coming out for men's 1. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. Liz is really good at the pushing slow sort of style, but I think the start dynamic style is not her favorite. So if she can get up, I think she's in with a good chance. And yeah, what do you think about Jesse's chances to read this lache?
I mean, I've seen Jesse pull out some really crazy stuff at competitions before, so I think the creativity is definitely there for him. I think he just has to read it right. I wonder if anyone actually... We saw in the viewing period that all the boys were sort of sequencing and talking about the boulder together. Do you think they're all coming out trying the same method that others have mentioned, or...
Oh, and we just see
Liz
Liz just lose control.
Stand up there.
But at least she looks like she knows what to do straight away, so that's good. Jesse straight up to taking the zone.
Showing some strength there. Just one arming through the roof.
It looks like he's going for the static method first. He'll need to match hands here on the zone. He looks like he's prepping to match. And he has got
well
he
done,
has got
Jesse.
it.
He's gone through.
Now let's hope he can top this one, Pat. It'd be great to get a top on this boulder.
Amazing effort. This is his first attempt still, is it?
Yes.
Wow, he is flying up there.
So we've got a little bit of Jesse is one of Khosrow's students. We've got a bit of student versus coach going on back to back.
And he's got the top. That was an excellent flash.
That was amazing. So there's two methods. There's lache, and we've seen this. Liz just getting up here.
Stepping up there to the press. She looks like she's got that press move figured out now. She's moving through, making sure not to make any sudden moves or wrong steps. Oh, just losing a bit of tension there.
So she's trying to hold that side pull, but really it's a bit too slopey. She really needs to push into the top of that volume with her left hand, if I'm right.
Yeah, it's quite a weird sort of compression feeling where the sloper definitely helps, but if you don't have the pressure of that undercling sort of palm on the volume, it's really going to be hard for you to stay on the wall. As we've seen a few climbers now barn door off when they try and just stay on the sloper.
Just trying to see a bit of a clock, how long we've got left for Elizabeth. So it's a little bit tricky from you as the route setter because you lead the climber into thinking, I can hold this side pull here, but really it's the blank volume above their head which gives them that pressure to progress. So a little bit sneaky. It's a bit like monkey see, monkey climb, I think. Like you get drawn in by that side pull.
Yeah, so obviously with our finals, we try and, as you know, we try and sort of puzzle them a bit. We don't want everyone to just walk up everything first go, so it gets really hard to sort of gauge how complex a boulder can be.
Yeah, definitely.
But it looks like she's getting better and better with each attempt. She's figuring out, standing a little bit further out on the volume, gives her a little bit more depth into the hold. Maybe focusing still a little bit too much on just holding onto the sloper.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know that she's she's thought about correcting this method, because one of the other things is like Liz is really quite strong, just straight in the power sort of way. Really good at holding stuff, so that might lead her down the road of thinking she can hold and control that that flat hold, the red hold on the wall there.
Very solid step up there. Just a slight foot slip will send you off here. Asking for a brush from the volunteer there. Oh, it's Mr. Schwingling himself.
Yeah, how do you think Johnny would go at this boulder?
I think it's much too static for someone like Johnny Schwartz.
The way he brushed there was quite dynamic.
Look at that. That's all she needed. 3, 2, 1. We can hear the commentators counting down. She is now in her plus attempt. Unfortunately, no zone for Liz there.
So a little bit hard to read there. We've seen for two of the athletes. Fortunately, it was hard to read for Grace in the beginning, but she did find that way to push up and underneath the boulder. So really complex from the root setters.
Yeah. It's a fine line that you have to walk when you're trying to give them a puzzle that's gonna sort of keep them busy for, well, ideally the 4 minutes.
Yeah.
And just provide just the right amount of challenge.
All right.
Here we've now got Anna Davey coming out and Yuta Matsuzaki.
I'm loving Utah's shirt. That's the Hawaiian shirt that all of the Victorian competitors were wearing today in Open Social.
That's
Apparently
right.
they're on a summer holiday because it's winter, but it was about 28 degrees really here in Brisbane today.
Yeah, I mean, I have been up from Melbourne myself, and I'm really enjoying just being able to walk around in a t-shirt and just enjoying the sun. It's been quite cold and grim in Melbourne lately.
Anna
See Anna Davey
just struggling to get established.
Maybe we can see we've got Yuta
Oh,
here.
we've got Utah.
Setting himself up here nice and slow into the roof.
He's facing out, Pat. What's going on?
Not quite sure what he intends to...
Oh,
wow,
my
very
goodness.
interesting method.
Jumps out for double Gaston,
Very cool.
which was really cool. It's about probably 4 or 5 different ways you can do that opening sequence, and that was a
got
brand new way.
Anna has claimed a zone now. I'm not sure which attempt she is on. Maybe third. And she's working her way up the zone hold now. It looks like she's pretty confident moving to the sloper.
Yeah, this territory here is really what Anna excels at. Just watching her climb the past few years, she's just so strong when it comes to hill hooking, holding slopers, crimps, and just really powerful moves.
Very nicely controlled top there from Anna Davey.
So Anna won our competition last year at this
She
venue.
did, yeah. She climbed extremely well.
And she got the top. So very exciting for Anna. We think about 3 attempts, but we'll pull up the scorecard in a sec.
Oh, Utah taking a bit of a violent spill there.
I guess that's the thing about that method. If you miss that, one side of your body's going to just fly through the air. Rather than Khosrow and Jesse's method, just facing out.
Now, Utah is quite a bit shorter than Jesse Raffini in terms of span and, well, height in general. Do you think he's going to have any chance of doing the toe hook reach-through method, or do you think he's going to have to figure out the slash-A move, or what do you think is going to happen here, Dan?
I reckon he can probably do the match to the toe hook, but I reckon Utah's got just awesome, like, fast twitch, really dynamic. He's going to jump out, choose
Looks
to
like
cut
he's
loose.
setting up for a...
Oh,
Wow.
just
So he's definitely
misses
reading
it.
it as a jump, maybe just a slightly different position to launch at the hold. But it looks like it could work for him.
Yeah, absolutely. So the easier way to generate a swing there is to keep your right hand on the zone and your left hand underneath that big simple volume, and then start swinging lâché style, and then jump out for the large red jug on the right of the screen. Just taking some time here to think about it. What do you think he's thinking about, Pat?
My guess is it's something in Japanese. I'm not really sure what goes through these guys' minds when they're out there on the wall in front of everyone. I imagine it's just pacing, you know, making sure you have a clear idea, just failing to latch the hold there. You can see the left hand lands on a quite a shallow volume, so really a lot of compression power required to stay on the hold there.
Yeah, and it's like it's compression, but also like not enough compression. So the angle of that slopey volume isn't directly opposing the right hand, the jug, and it's in quite close. So if you've ever felt like squeezing something with both hands narrower than your shoulders, it's really
Going for
hard.
another jump here.
Oh, he's so close.
And the right hand looks like it could be a pretty positive hold. Is that right, Dan?
Yeah, it's a really good hold. You've just got so much sideways force. You're
Yeah.
going downhill a little bit as well.
Yeah, you can see it close up there. It's got quite a nice little in-cut edge to it. So
Going downhill just generates a bit more inertia, I believe is the correct term, probably. I'm not sure.
I'm not too sure. I did not complete higher education, so
You did high school though, Pat.
yeah.
Oh.
Very close. Looks like he latched it quite well there. But just
So
not enough.
Unfortunately, Yuta couldn't top that boulder. He did take the zone though relatively quickly. If we look on our scoring screen now in front of us, he took the zone on his first attempt.
There you go. And we've got Jesse Ruffini in the lead there with the only top of the boulder.
Flashing it.
Flash, which is really impressive. You know, we have 2 more climbers to come out still. Is this sort of looking how you would expect? Or is it too early to tell, do you think?
I think it's too early to tell. I think these 2 next male climbers can do this boulder in multiple methods.
We've got Alistair Early here coming out on the men's boulder. He's taking a minute to just refamiliarize himself with the boulder. Charlotte is already having attempts. She's just come off there. Quickly into her second attempt, just slipping with the right foot there. It's really not a lot of depth on that lower right volume. So
Not just depth, the angle is quite punishing as well.
the angle is not great. It's a really fine line of pressure between all 4 points that you have to establish. She looks like she's nailed it there.
She's on the boulder. Now let's see.
Ooh.
Oh, just slipping. So as a competitor, what do you think this would be a favorable or non-favorable boulder to come out to?
I think I would be extremely frustrated. You know, being in a final can be nerve-wracking just in itself. I think coming out and seeing that the first boulder, the first move that you have to do is something insecure,
Yeah, absolutely.
not very familiar, like finding a body position or a jump, as we can see Alistair doing here.
Double
It
gas
can really
jump.
play with your confidence, I think. And especially if you start slipping.
He's going for the lâché. You reckon he's got
wow, he's read that really well.
it? He's got it!
Amazing.
That is how you do it, people. Homeboy Alistair Early doing the big Ninja Warrior tribute. Now, let's see if he can get this toe hook above the head. This would be...
Struggling to stay in position there. He's really making those holds look quite good.
That one's terrible.
Oh, just
that
coming
is
off after
just
latching the
coming
zone
off.
there. So that will place him at least under Jesse. As he, well, obviously he didn't top, but he's latched the zone and then come off just before the top. But I think he's got a really good chance.
Yeah,
top
absolutely. He knows he can do the lâché. It's well within his ability. I think he's probably kicking himself. He just needs to plant that toe hook in. He's proven to himself, basically, that, yeah, I can't just jump up and campus to that little crimp over the lip. So this next move, where you put the toe hook above the head, is inspired by El Pusif, which is a very famous 7A in Fontainebleau that you and I, Pat, got the pleasure of doing a couple of years ago.
Yep.
And it was really cool to try and
didn't-
recreate it.
I didn't come close to topping that bowler, and I don't think I would come close to topping this one either.
You are more of an El Pusar man from memory.
Charlotte working very nicely here towards the zone. She's got that secured. And now it looks like she's quite comfortable on the steeper terrain at the top of the wall here. Yeah, very nicely climbed there by Charlotte. She's got the top there.
And
We'll
that'll
have
give
to-
us her a huge amount of confidence going into the second one.
Definitely. Let's see if we can cut back to Alistair here. He'll still be going on the first bowler. He's in the lâché.
I'm really hoping he's
Wow.
going to top this, Pat.
You could see him just cut with the left hand there, and all his weight was on the right hand, so must be quite confident with that right hand
Put
hold.
it in, Al. You've got those awesome shoes for toe hooking. That's it.
Very nice. Looks like he's Just struggling to. Looks like he's struggling to get a bit of pull off the toe hook there.
Yeah, absolutely. He's rushing it a little bit, and it's really crucial to place that toe hook all the way around the back of that volume. It's nasty. I'm not sure if we'll be able to get a shot of the back of that volume, but the red hold is screwed into a dual texture, a non-textured surface. So as you're trying to place it, you kind of kick your foot off placing it, and it gets really frustrating to elevate your core uphill like that, and you just want to get it done, you know?
Okay, so we've got a classic Boulderfest moment here. The countdown has gone off. Al is now on his last attempt.
Let's hope he can rise to top this boulder, Pat.
He had a classic moment in last year's Boulderfest where, I believe it was the last men's boulder. He got really close to topping quite early in his attempt. He came off matching the last hold. And then he spent the whole 4 minutes just trying to get the zone back. And then after the countdown had gone off, he managed to really pull on, take his time, and he managed to get it done. And the crowd just went ballistic. It was a really great moment, much like what we saw with Grace earlier in this round.
Yeah, definitely remember that moment. It was amazing. So we just had some of our international viewers messaging in. We had Held Nicholas just giving a big shout out to all his friends in Brisbane and from Victoria who are competing. We've got to set this comp with Nicky a few years in a row, and he's not here, unfortunately, this week, which is sad.
Here we've got Emma Horan stepping up to the F1 boulder.
And Sam onto the M1. How do you think Sam's going to go with this move? He'll lâcher it or static it?
I think he's probably going to try Jesse's method of the toe hook and then reach through. Sam has an incredible reach. You can see there he's just skipped the first hole on the boulder.
Not just incredible reach, but he seems to just manage to extend when he needs to.
It's really is the go-go gadget of climbing, I think.
This guy is seriously strong for anyone watching at home.
He's opted for the dynamic method there.
With the left hand over the zone. He might need to lâcher it to stick that, I think.
Emma just struggling to keep the pressure there. Looks like she's, again, just focusing a bit too much on trying to grab the holes and just pull her way through. Whereas this boulder requires a lot of just pressure, slow movement, and body positioning.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyone who's sort of stopped, really thought about it, given it a little bit of respect, has gone through to take the top.
Yeah, it just looks like she's rushing the run up there a little bit.
So Emma's super experienced, one of our Australian international athletes. So is Sam as well, we should mention, and Alistair. So Sam.
And Davey as well.
And Anna Davey, yep. Sam going with the toe hook.
He's opted for the toe hook method there. It's looking quite solid with the
Looks
toes.
like he's giving a high five to that volume. Do you think he can reach out of there, or he needs to get the left hand on the zone?
I think he needs to get his other hand on the zone. Unless he can somehow go gadget himself to that jug there. Ooh.
Oh, now that would be spectacular.
That would be amazing. Looks a bit unsure of himself there. 2 minutes left on the clock. Unfortunately, we aren't able to get the clock up on the screen for you guys, but we'll try and keep you sort of up to date as we just overhear the time from the MCs.
So big shout out. We just had one of our brushes on screen there. So the whole weekend we've had just an army of volunteers, and the brushes have been a very pinnacle part of the event. You know, we were climbing well into the 550 competitors this weekend.
Incredible. So yeah, an incredible amount of people to have through on the walls and the holds. So yeah, big shout out to all the volunteers, all the people that stayed behind to help us keep the holds clean, keep the gym fresh, keep the vibe high.
Oh, this is an interesting method. Oh my goodness.
So he's gone for a lâcher method there off the wall, facing away
off the wall,
from the
like Michael Jackson. Okay, so Emma, she's been allowed to progress.
Yeah, she's looking really solid there, stepping out, and the judge just
judge
pulled her
has
off for
just
an invalid start.
So what sort of style do you think would suit Emma? Would she be coming out feeling yay about this boulder, or... I mean, she's so good at everything, but...
I mean, she's a really well-rounded climber. I don't think anyone comes out to a boulder like this and is like, yay, my favorite, insecure, like slab traversing. But she's climbing really well there. She's keeping the pressure. Sam just failing on the jump there. If we can cut back to Emma. She's working her way up the zone. She looks like she's in her territory now.
Yep.
As soon as she can hang on something, she's not going anywhere.
I reckon a
for the
huge
toe hook.
smile just came out
Yeah.
as she took that zone. And she takes the top.
Excellent, yeah. Bit of a blow of relief there. Yeah, I think she'll be maybe a little bit frustrated that, that start just took her that number of attempts, but probably relieved that she at least got a top.
Yeah, absolutely, because she knows Anna and Charlotte are very, very experienced, good competition climbers, so every attempt will count, I think, for the females. Sam just shaking out. Not sure how his endurance is these days, but
looks
definitely
like he's
just milking
having a
this
bit of a
race.
dawn wall moment there, just sitting on the wall.
Someone needs to get him a bag of chippies and a Coke. That's his go-to.
We should maybe let him know that we are, somewhat on a time limit. We should get a move on, but he's gone for the move there. And
No,
looks like
mad
he's
respect for Sammy. Only his mates can give him a little bit. And he holds
he's
it.
got it.
Oh my God. After the
Incredible.
timer, this guy just rises. I know I keep saying that, and it's a little bit like cliche. Oh, he does the heel hook.
Solid heel hook there. And I don't think he'll have any trouble with this top
Take
section.
it slow and get it
Unless
done.
he just sort of overthinks it. Come on, Sammy, you know it's good. And he's got the top. Excellent effort.
So that was our last competitors on the F1 and M1. So we'll go back through the scores quickly. But off the top of my head, 2 tops on the M1 and 4 tops on the F1.
Yeah, let's see if we can get the current standing up on the screen for you guys at home. So we've got the females. Anna Davey in the lead with 1 top in 3 attempts. And then following that, we've got Charlotte with 1 top in 5 attempts. Emma Horan, 1 top in 9. And then Grace, 1 top in 12. And then Liz in 5th. And Jess, unfortunately, with no tops and no zone. Just couldn't quite get that traverse movement right. But we'll see how they go.
And just
next
switch over
boulder.
here on my Finger Comps fancy app thing. And we've got the men. Do you want to present that one to us, Pat?
You go for it, Dan.
Okay, no worries. So in first, Jesse Raffini coming out and flashing the M1. 1 top in 1 attempt. Sam Bowman, 1 top in 5 attempts. And then a little bit of a tie, 3, 4, and 5 taking the zone. Oh, no, sorry, beg your pardon. 3 and 4 taking the zone on their first attempt. Chase and Utah. Alistair taking the zone in 2 attempts. Costa taking the zone on his 3rd attempt. So we do have mostly a split there. 3rd and 4th tied in the men so far. 5th and 6th tied in the females so far as well. So we go to the second boulders, and Grace has just come out. Tell us about this one. Or maybe let's just let the viewers see it first, actually. All right, looks like she's lining up for some kind of a run.
Wow. That looks quite explosive there. So we've got Chase here on the second men's boulder as well. Maybe we'll have a bit more time to talk you guys through the boulders once the action slows down a little bit. But we can see Chase fighting there. Grace just hauling for that flat hold superstar around the sliderette there.
Looks like she's hitting it with her right hand. So we just watched Chase here. He's taken the zone well and truly. And this is a really vicious right foot up press to this undercling crimp. And boy, I tell you, I am really sore from trying this move. So I feel a little sorry for the men.
It looks like one of those boulders that's like a bad session at the chiropractor. Just everything is being pulled in a way. Oh, you can see
He's
there.
up.
Wow, really impressive.
Excuse the pun, but that was amazing. Chase, was that his first attempt?
I'm not too sure. We'll have to have a look at the scores when they come in, but that did seem like he got up there really quickly. Maybe we can cut over to the female boulder now. Grace still having a crack at the run start. So you mentioned some international setters that we've had work with us before, namely Niklas Wichmann, who has set with us for a few comps, and Niklas was very well known for loving sort of parkoury, dynamic, really funky movement. And this being our 10th Boulderfest, we really wanted to sort of set that classic, like, new school parkour style boulder. So here we have just a run across the wall to a bit of a catch around it. Oh, really close there.
You got that little pink jib on that flat hold there. So what's that all about?
Yeah, so the hold that you're going to by itself is actually just kind of like a slightly in-cut dish, but because of the amount of force that you're throwing across the wall, we just needed that extra little bit of stick. Grace just not quite hitting the barn door there, but we opted to add that little thumb jib so that if you hit that hold just right, you can pinch yourself in, hold that swing, and then continue on to the zone.
She goes again. So do you think this is the sort of move that the athlete should be trying to give a lot of attempts to understand how the body movement works, to pick up rhythm and muscle memory, or take a bit more time? It seems like you get both approaches depending on what the problem is that's ahead of you.
It's I think because it's a more dynamic move, it's going to take you a lot of tries just to get the trajectory right. You want to make sure you're not going too fast, too slow. Looks like Grace just had a little bit too slow a throw there off the starting position. So, you know, it's one of those boulders that you just have to basically throw yourself at just repeatedly until you learn just how the body needs to move. She looks really close to nailing that position.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is kind of like a new school move that's now old school.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen this a lot, so it's definitely not something new for the competitors. I think depending on the competitor, you might come out to a boulder like this and go, oh, great, I have to do parkour, or you might come out and go, hell yeah, this is going to be sick.
Yeah. So the time is just finished. This will be our last attempt.
Oh,
and she's
really
so
close. That was a great attempt. Walking away with a smile there, though. She looks like she had a bit of fun on that boulder. So
yeah. So I know Grace just from climbing around the gym. I'm not sure if she's made a major finals in a World Cup style like this before. So she's probably just absolutely stoked to get into the final. She climbed so well yesterday in the qualifiers.
And I mean, judging by her start in the comp, it looks like she's definitely a talented climber. I as well have not really seen her in a final before, so yeah, really interesting to see someone who you're not super familiar with actually performing quite well.
All right, we have Khosrow up on the male too. I think this boulder's really going to suit him. He's probably got the strongest body of anyone I've ever met. And you really have to be really tight with your core and your shoulders to do well on this.
Holding some incredible shoulder tension there. Doesn't look like those upside down flat holds are causing him much grief.
He's not going to lift up on it, is he? So he went out and touched the zone, you would have noticed, with his left hand to be awarded it, but he wants to try a different method.
Yeah, so what constitutes being awarded a zone, Dan, for people who might not know? If you just sort of tap the hold or place your foot on it, does that count as a zone?
So you can't take it with your foot, it has to be with your hand. It's the same with the top hold. You have to take it with a hand and you have to control it. So the judge, it's a little bit of one of those ones that's a grey area, but the judge has to deem that you had control over the hold. You didn't just high-five it on your way down, and you were able to transition weight in your body if you needed to, or you did.
So essentially you just have to show that you've controlled it, and it's kind of up to the judge's call whether
absolutely
that was achieved. We just saw Jess have the first crack there on the F2. She actually came quite close to hitting the hold right. Khosrow's back up on the M2 there, working hard.
He's really keen on this left foot up method. As the route said, we definitely went right foot up, left hand down on the zone.
Yeah. Looks like he's
battling really hard. He's got a pinch on it.
Wow, that crimp, we should say it's upside down. And he is now gassed on undercling. I did not know that was possible. But
He's
this
just created not only a new climbing move, but new physics.
Wow. Okay, so there we saw the fourth dimension being entered by Khosrow.
He works for SpaceX, I'm fairly sure.
Yeah, it's the Elon Musk boulder, we can say.
So yeah, I'm not sure how he even held that. So I need to bring up a picture at some point of what that hold is.
I think we need to bring in a physics textbook to start off with. But here we've got Jess giving us a lesson in basic dynamics across the wall there. And it looks like just as you latch that flat hold around the arete, the big simple volume kind of just presents itself. So if you just manage to sort of land in that position, it looks like you should be able to stay. But it definitely does look tricky.
Yeah, did you intend for this F2 to be like quite hard for the female competitors?
Yeah, so we wanted something that was definitely going to be, lots of attempts, maybe quite frustrating.
Like a Google of attempts?
Yeah. A Google of attempts. How many zeros is that?
I think it's a lot. It's like
I think it's a lot.
It's 100,
Yeah.
isn't it? 100
I have
zeros
no
on the
idea.
end of a one. Please message in. I don't know how, but
Wait, how can we get in touch with people?
yeah, tell us what a Google is here.
Maybe if our media sort of head Cam can listen in and let us know how we can communicate with the viewers, that'd be great. We'd love to get people's
she is
thoughts
so
on the
close to
boulders and
that.
the climbers.
Only 20 seconds to go, so Khosrow's using all of his time on the mat. Hope we can get a cut to Khosrow. It'd be really great for him to top this boulder.
Slight slip there, but he looks like he's still on. And that's the timer out. Not sure if Jess managed to pull on for another try, but Khosrow is back up to the mantle. He's working his way up to the crimp, entering the Doctor Strange dimension once more.
Oh my goodness. And he just missed the top there. But this guy, what a life he has lived. He is always just so happy to be climbing. Climbing is everything for Khosrow. A big smile. He'll be disappointed, but also just so happy.
I've managed to get the live stream up on my phone here, so we are able to see the comments if you are tuned into the live stream. So feel free to share your thoughts, give a shout out. We are watching, so let us know what you think so far.
All right, so Elizabeth Koskeli, what do you think about her on this F3, Patrick?
On the F2, I think.
Don't say F2.
I think she. I mean, you might know her slightly better as a climber. I'm not sure how big a fan she is of this sort of parkour style.
She's been practicing it a bit more. She's definitely would be in her head that it's probably her weakest style of climbing. Though she did 2 really dynamic blacks in the qualifying round yesterday, so
Giving a good leg swing there, generating some momentum and getting quite a good travel.
one thing's for sure is she's been watching those World Cups, so she'll know how to do it. It's just about executing it now.
Yeah.
Young Jessie taking the zone, just holding it, showing control to the judge.
Shout out to Alan Price watching on the live stream.
Hey, Al.
Love you too, Al. Also, Alex Wooten.
Jessie
Hope you're enjoying
extending, using the Khosrow
he's
method.
getting up there.
And he's got one hand on the finish, but just couldn't get his weight over that left foot. Oh, and Liz reaching up with 2 hands as she jumps around the corner. That's really
Amazing.
smart. Bit more recruitment with 2 hands.
Yeah, it could work. Could work.
So Liz, for anyone watching, her claim to fame, besides her baking, is that she has a -10 ape index.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That's probably the shortest ape index I've ever heard of anyone climbing.
Please message in if you have a shorter one or you know someone with a shorter one.
If you can beat -10 in your ape index, let us know. We've got some shout outs coming through in the comments. Cheering for Alistair, who we will see very soon.
So Jessie just on the mat, taking his time. Jessie's really like always been quite calm and takes a lot of time between attempts, and something that probably come from his very well coached background. He doesn't attempt too much, just puts a lot of effort into each one.
Yeah, it's an interesting tactic, I guess, if you've done a few comps and you sort of know how that's... Wow, that was incredibly close. Liz looks definitely capable of latching that.
And Jessie going back up. I think it's interesting that both student and coach using the same method. Do they probably talk about that downstairs in isolation or in the viewing round? Using the exact same method.
Yeah, I think as we were saying earlier, when they come out and view, they probably discuss what
That's
the
a fantastic
method
shot. Sorry to cut you off there, Pat. So Elizabeth stuck the zone.
Elizabeth has stuck the zone.
Our cameramen have got some pretty hard work to capture both exciting things. Liz has taken the zone. Let's see if she can top it.
So now we see a bit of a change of pace. The second half of this boulder looks like a bit of a slabby mantle, almost like out of a swimming pool between those two Elliott Masters that are upside down. Liz using her flexibility there. Looking very confident.
She is quite flexible.
Amazing effort.
Oh,
almost slipping up at the last minute there.
Always
a little bit of overconfidence maybe, but she managed to get that one. She looks ecstatic with that. That is such a good face.
That's really cool because it's probably a boulder in viewing I suspect, didn't think she would be able to do. I haven't seen her do quite such a sideways dynamic move in a competition before.
That was really impressive.
Practice pays off.
Yeah, and you can see just the pure happiness on her face of getting that one done.
There's going to be a lot of cakes for all of the urban community for the next week, just for that stand.
Liz is an amazing baker, we should point out. So if you are a local to the Urban Climb gyms, expect some treats. I hope we're not throwing Liz under a bus here, but...
she won't watch this for a week. So Jessie back up. The timer just ended, guys, so he's in his plus time. And he's still going with this left foot on the zone. So this is really hard because where his thumb is, we can see that shot. That's dual texture. There's it's no textured. So it's really hard to hold that with your left hand. Plus it's an undercling above your head, which is just, as we know, probably the hardest thing besides destroying a Horcrux.
Yeah,
for the Harry Potter fans out there.
If you're up to date with your Harry Potter pop culture, I was always more of a Star Wars kid myself.
Yeah, I like Star Wars too. So Anna Davey coming out on F2. Unfortunately, Jessie, he did take the zone, didn't take the top. And Yuta coming out on the M2. So I reckon this is going to suit Yuta quite a bit. He's a bit smaller out of the male competitors, so he might find getting into that press a little bit easier, actually.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how a smaller person goes spanning between those flat holds and fitting into that box. Anna's just had a crack at the run there.
Don't put Yuta in a box, Pat.
I'm not putting him in a box. You set the bowler, so you're the one putting him in the box.
Okay, here goes Yuta, and he's really making short work of this start, pinching that first fiberglass volume. Moving out to the zone. Looks like he's going to go right foot up method, which is definitely what the route setters had intended more to happen. It's really hard to take that, like we saw with Jessie and Khosrow, to take that undercling up the top there with your left hand. So going right foot up allows you to get your right hand into that undercling.
Anna looking like she's getting closer and closer to lashing that flat hole, but if we can cut back to Yuta, I think he might be traveling quite well here.
And we were right, he fit into that press really well, so let's hope he can make this top. Still got to concentrate right to the end. There's nothing to hold there. Just need to get upwards pressure. Boy,
like
Chase really did well. We almost missed it.
Yeah, he got up there almost too quick for the cameraman.
And Yuta takes the top.
Yuta's taking the top there. I think that was a flash.
Either one or two. Let's pull up our scorecard here, and I'll let the viewers at home know. Okay, so looks like Yuta took, he's taken, hasn't updated yet. Oh, there we go.
There. So he's got the top there.
In 2 attempts.
That's a really good effort.
Amazing.
Amazing.
So it's starting to get quite tight for the men there.
Yeah, really interesting how this is playing out.
Alistair and Sam really need to top this boulder to stay in.
Oh, a bit of slip there. It's interesting that, you know, very quickly into the round, the order of the competitors, you know, whoever qualified first is now sitting in a different spot. The order has just completely changed, which I think is a sign of really good mix of movement, because you really can't predict who's going to sort of come out on top.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. So I said sort of to my team that was setting the male boulders, look, it's really hard to know who we're going to get, and there's so many good people who could be qualifying for the finals this year. So I think the best thing we really can focus on is making 4 distinct different styles, so that the best competitor, someone who's going to win this thing, $2,500 on the line for first place, is going to be the person who can do the most different styles, the most different moves, the most arsenal, most arrows in their quiver.
We should also give a quick shout out to our naming sponsor, Cliff Bar. The Boulderfest is powered by Cliff Bar, and we also have major sponsors K2 and Scarpa powering the event. So huge thanks to those guys for always backing us, supplying us with lots of great prizes and giveaways.
Anna almost sticking that. Yeah, you're definitely right. Like, it's just these guys have been behind this competition for so long. Rob Saunders, Jackie from Cliff Bar, obviously the owners and the managers of K2 over the years, and Pinnacle along the journey as well. They've really backed the comp, put up a lot of prizes, money for prizes as well, which has really made this event stand out on the Australian calendar. Oh, and Anna just missing as she loses time on that F2.
She'll be frustrated with that, no doubt.
But yeah, there's our sponsors on screen there. So naming, powered by Cliff Bar, then our major sponsors, Scarpa, K2 Basecamp, Scent Chalk, Black Diamond, and Pinnacle Sports. So people who've really backed this competition, Boulderfest, for a long time, and have really made it come to life, you know, help guys like us get paid to do the competition. So yeah, forever thankful.
We've got Charlotte here, stepping through a cloud of white smoke.
That's probably Scent.
Probably.
They've been handing out a lot of chalk this weekend.
Not wasting any time with the run there, getting quite close to sticking that.
Was interesting timing, almost like she perfectly dead pointed. Do you think she meant for that timing, or she just kind of hit it a little bit?
I think she probably could measure it out that she wouldn't have to run completely across the water.
She's got kind of pretty good arm span as well.
Yeah. Could also potentially look like one of those boulders to the competitors where you're not quite sure if you can do it slowly or if you have to run. The volumes are, like, you know, shallow, but they're on a slab, so could be quite uncertain. Here we've got Alistair working his way up the men's boulder.
So I think Al's totally in for doing this boulder. He's just incredibly, not just powerful and strong and knows how to climb.
Or just a foot slip.
Or just slip, but he's really flexible. Hey, he found a way to flex his way around a lot of boulders in the qualifiers and throughout the years. Like,
for sure.
No, climbing with him, you're just like, what? That's
really impressive with the body positions and the twists and
the 100th method we had written down on the list. You know,
but it was definitely on the list. We had definitely considered it.
We just like did not think, you know, Homo sapien was doing this move. Oh, Charlotte's just getting close. She's going 2 hands now, which is what allowed Liz to stick that hold. And Al's back up on M2, going left foot up. Same as Costa
opted for
and
the
Jesse.
4th dimension method, working very strongly up into that press.
Goes that awesome flexibility. If he can get this right foot to settle on one of these superstars.
Amazing work.
That was just amazing. He just used awesome grip strength to hold on to the top there.
That was insane. Al showing off his mad skills there. Let's see if Charlotte can get this run right. She's kicked the volume.
Oh, she's really close.
Yeah, that was a very good attempt. I reckon she can definitely nail this one if she manages to just stick that flat a little bit better. Some shout outs in the comments. Rick Helm watching. Thank you for the comment on the mustache. I've been working on it.
How's the climbing at Flinders been going, Rick? Oh,
Yeah, let us know what you're up to, Rico.
Charlotte getting really, really close. The crowd wants her to do this boulder. They want their first female competitor with 2 tops. So Anna was unfortunately not able to make that happen. But if Charlotte can take this even zone, if I'm not mistaken, that'll put her straight away into the lead because Liz didn't take the zone on the first boulder. Oh, she's just so close. She knows she can do the move, but yeah, it's hard when it's under pressure to do these kinds of moves. So she's from England, originally from the UK.
I believe so. I think she might be based in Sydney at the moment.
I thought it was Hobart, working at Rocket with Tommy Kraus, maybe? I could be mistaken.
I'm not too sure.
I know Chase is living in Sydney. Someone told me that.
Right, okay.
And Charlotte's living in Tasmania at the moment. I think Jane Engler, one of our setters, mentioned that yesterday.
Oh, okay.
She's usually pretty good.
She seems to know her. Yeah, she seems to know, be in the know with that. Again, opting for a slightly slower run there, just not quite enough.
Just couldn't pull it off. She was so close a couple of times there.
Really close. It's one of those moves that you could feel really close doing it 100 times, and it's just that 101st time that you need to stick it.
All right, so we're coming out to our last competitors for the second boulders. This is bloody exciting, Patrick, because Sam is a really great climber, but he's also a really smart climber. And he would know just then that Alistair topped this boulder, Chase topped this boulder, so he'll know that he really needs to top this to stay in the lead. And I would say the same probably for Emma as well. They've been around the scene so long.
For sure.
Probably can tell the sound of the crowd whether someone topped or not, I reckon.
Yeah, definitely.
So he's looking pretty confident here.
Just losing my train of thought as Sam pulled onto the wall there. I just got caught up watching him, so we'll
He's
see
good
how
to
he's
watch.
traveling.
He's the control everyone wants to have.
He looks so confident on every move. It's just slipping off there.
Just coming off.
Emma launching the kick. Oh, she got the trajectory really good, just slipping off on the latch there, but I reckon she's feeling quite confident with that bowler.
Yeah, we'll keep it on. Okay, Emma lining up again for another attempt. Oh, and she's so close. Man, you guys have got this move like right on the edge here. Like it looks like they're going to stay on it, and they just like coming off. How'd you do that?
Testing, running and testing, and yeah, just a lot of testing. I lost a lot of skin on those fiberglass holds. But
more running than Forrest Gump, probably.
Yeah, you really got to use your magic legs here. Excellent effort. She's nailed that one. Let's see if she can now work her way through the more techie sort of mentally top. Bit of change of pace here. Hart will no doubt be racing after latching that dynamic move. Just has to get that foot up.
So you keep talking about the 2 pace. Tell the viewers sort of what that's all about. Like, why do you like to do that as part of your boulders? Oh, she's right on the edge of that dual texture.
She is going...
Maybe in a second we'll let her just climb and get this done.
Oh, she's just working the triceps there. That's an excellent
Just such
balance.
an awesome climber, awesome competitor.
Excellent
She's
effort.
not letting go.
Really good top there from Emma Horan. Yeah, the sort of 2-pace bowler that you were asking about, Dan. I think it's really fun to have as part of a final, just because there's such a sudden change of pace, and you can hear it in the crowd, and you can see it on the competitor. They get caught up trying this really fast, explosive move, and the crowd is just watching this attempt after attempt after attempt. And then once it happens, once they stick it, the next part just becomes this dramatic, slow, really tense moment where it's like, oh my God, please do not fall now. It took you so long to get up there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're just,
It's
you're
really hard to
holding
change
your
your muscle groups and your brain to change
definitely.
pace. So Sam going left, foot up method. This guy is seriously
Looking
strong.
so confident.
And he tops the boulder.
And that, I mean, that looked easy for him then. So the first time that he slipped off must have been so frustrating because, I mean, that looked effortless for him.
I reckon, knowing Sam, he took the first attempt to just suss out what was going on because he knows his position in the comp. He knows if he tops that boulder, that puts him into first place. So he's our only male athlete with 2 tops now. Same with Emma, which is awesome, is our only female athlete with 2 tops so far. So maybe between the boulders we can get our feed to bring up the scores back onto the screen. So Pat, do you want to go through the ladies?
So we now have Emma Horan in first place with 2 tops, pulling out an awesome attempt on the awesome top on the second boulder there in 14 tries overall. And then we've got Anna Davey in second place, Charlotte Garden in third, Elizabeth with her 1 top in fourth, and Grace, no top on the second boulder, but really great top on the first in 5th place, and Jess Pena at the end of the pack with currently no tops.
So we'll just switch over to our male scorecard. Everyone watching at home. It's just an awesome live stream we've got going here.
Quick shout out to Antoine Mousset, who's tuning in,
Oh.
commenting on the live stream here. Antoine, lovely
So
to have you
our
with
male
us.
scorecard looks like Sam Bowman in first place with 2 tops in 9 attempts. Jessie Raffini, 1 top, 1 attempt. It looks like we're live
Sounds like
again.
there's some action happening. Chase with a really quick top of the men's 3 slab boulder there.
Lottie, you try to give the score and someone just... Chase has done it to us twice now, Pat. I feel bad for the viewers.
We do apologize. Hopefully we'll get to see some more attempts on that slab.
It'll be in the highlights on KO tomorrow, probably.
Grace working her way up the female 3rd boulder. Powerful climbing through the Thunderbirds up the steep wall here. Looking a little bit lost, not quite sure how to maneuver those big pinches. Gripping on really hard there, but she's off.
Yeah, this boulder looks really hard. It looks like you need to have a lot of grip strength, a lot of power to get through those flat hold Thunderbirds, which is the name of those big pinchy holds on the wall there.
Yeah, we definitely wanted to offer something that's not necessarily too complex, not too sort of intimidating, you know, in terms of dynamics or problem reading. It's pretty much all there. You just have to hold on really, really hard.
Yeah,
so
just give it the Zoidberg.
Give it the Zoidberg.
Just pinch hard.
Yeah. Give it the clamps.
All right, so see Grace pulling on. It's all going to be on her because Chase came out and somehow topped that slab in about 2 seconds.
Must be really sort of intimidating having your fellow competitor top their boulder really quick and suddenly all the focus is on you.
Yeah, that's
just
true.
having to like work your way up this thing.
You're the only one on the stage. It could be really confronting for especially someone new to finals like Grace, but she's giving it everything. She's not going to give up. I wonder what Dave's doing on the phone there.
Dave Fletcher clearly not very interested in the live action that's happening in front of him.
You can see a lot of the route setters in the back. They're definitely psyched for Grace.
Crowd is just G'ing up Grace there, trying to get her that little bit of extra pinch strength to get her up those Thunderbirds. Oh, just struggling
Dave's
to
just
grip
told
on
me
there.
he's checking in on the live score.
Well, that's awkward. Still hope I have a job after this this broadcast.
There's Fred Dorrington, our facilities manager in the crowd there. Was recently on Ninja Warrior Australia. Pretty cool. Come on, Grace. You can do it. You think she should take a slight more break here? Rest? Regain all that power, like ATP
Yeah, I mean,
boost?
she seems to have a pretty clear idea of how to climb it. I mean, it really is just, you just have to hold on. Maybe she's just sort of using a few more attempts to feel out. She's running out the clock now, so this will be her last attempt. Looks like she's working her way into a bit more of a pressy body position there.
It's always the tendency to escape being front on to those hard holds.
Yeah, they're placed sort of in a really tight front on position, which can be quite awkward if you're trying to sort of attack them face on.
All right, and there's a shot of our awesome crowd tonight.
Excellent turnout.
These guys just, over the years, they just love watching Boulderfest Finals. It's probably the spectacle for sure of the year up here in Brisbane.
For us, yeah.
So we've got some new competitors. I really want to see this slab. Let's hopefully get a shot of it
Yeah,
this
let's
time.
see if we can get a shot of Khosrow trying the
I found
white
it really
slab
hard,
here.
so I want to know what's going on. Straight up into this dynamic bicycle thing.
He's done that starting position really nicely.
This is really cool.
Leaning out. And he's just balancing between his palm and his foot there. Really shallow damage control holds from flat
so
holds.
Holding the slopey side pad.
So it should be noted that the back side of that hold that Khosrow is holding right now is a dual texture. So it's not actually gritty like you would find on most climbing holds. It's actually quite slick and not designed for grip.
It's rude. They're being made to hold the shiny side of the hold tonight, which is really cool. I like the pink jibs. That's brought some color to the wall.
Brought a bit of pop.
Also got to give, obviously, a shout out to ICP, their founder, Rob Parra, one of our founding route setters, taught all of us how to set and got us these holds tonight for this competition. So Flat Hold, Cheetah, AIX.
Some really great premium brands.
Yeah, it's been great like that they could get us those holds in time for the comp. So Khosrow taking the zone.
Looking really confident on this slab now. And he's got that top. That was second attempt, I believe. So Chase came out with a flash on that one, and Khosrow put that one down fairly quick. So I think this could be a really interesting boulder. It could be, something that they find really tricky or just really easy.
Yeah, and I think it could also come down to it's definitely got a specific method. Who's talked to who in the isolation or the viewing. Just see how it goes. It's very exciting. Khosrow taking his first hold.
Let's see how Jess goes on this pinchy monster climb here.
This is the big boss.
This is the big boss for sure. Oh, doing a really good job throwing out for the zone there. Maybe if she brought that left hand just slightly higher up that left Thunderbird, it would increase her grip a little bit. They are tapered towards the top. So it's really a bit of a touchy-feely boulder in that sense that you have to find the sweet spot that works for your hand size. But it looks like she's just taking a second there to recover, get some energy back. She does not look impressed with those Thunderbirds. Seeing a bit of support on the live stream for Jess. Shout out to Rick and Mark. Here she goes for another attempt. Really vice gripping up those Thunderbirds, working the feet. Let's see if she can nail the zone. Oh, not quite. Yeah, that looks tough. That does definitely look like their toughest boulder so far.
Yeah, that looks well cooked. The books are cooked on that, Pat. Mate, I'm hoping for you that someone can take this zone and definitely take the top.
Would be very nice to see a top on this boulder, Dan. That's for sure. Here we go for
Pulls
another
on again.
attempt. Working the heel there quite nicely. Switching earlier to rearrange her feet there. Very nice. And let's see what she does differently this time. She's sort of looking around a little bit. Decided to go for a throw and just no dice.
Unfortunate for Jess. She's such a good competitor. Really, really great climber. But this boulder's just got a little bit too much power for our first two competitors, I think. Or so it would seem. So we've got our third competitors out, Elizabeth Koskeli again and Jessie Raffini. What do you make of Jessie's slab skills?
I haven't been able to watch him climb recently, being based in Melbourne. So I'm not too sure what his slab skilling is like. I know he's very powerful, as we've seen on the more overhanging terrain. So it'll be interesting to see how he does on this more sort of balancy, finesse style boulder. Also want to give a quick shout out to Ollie, watching on the live stream. We've also got Davis upstairs.
So he's straight on, no problems with that start. Really knew exactly how to do it straight away. It looks like he's going to do like a stand-up method rather than go the palm down.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's going to switch now. Let's have a look.
Does a bit of a step over from the lower hold. Wonder if that will... No, his reach gets him through that. That's great slab technique there from Jessie.
Really strong in the hip flexors to move across. That right foot they're on is like 80 degrees. But can he
looks
squat
like
it
he's
out?
having a little bit of trouble staying in balance there on the arete.
He's fighting really hard.
What do you
Pat.
think here, Dan? With the right foot on, is there...
Oh.
Yeah, it looks like he's just wasn't able to get that sort of balance over his foot that would equalize him there with his right foot on the jib.
I think like when I... Oh, and Liz.
Liz taking a bit of a spill off
That
the
was a
boulder there.
Good spill. Good tumble.
Always smiling from Liz, which is so great to see.
So I think with Jessie with the squat, it was really surprising when we were forerunning this move, just how hard it is to turn your weight over that little footer, that pink jib, which is screwed into the zone hold. Because every time you want to like slap your right hand and re-grab and pull your hip to sit directly over your toe, it's really risky because as you go to gather the plastic again, as you can see his right hand doing there, there's always this chance that the hand's just not going to regather. It's going to like just scooch off.
Yeah. As we're seeing there. Oh, managed to save himself from tumbling off there.
So he's really battling with this move. Liz is still resting.
Looks like he's found a bit of balance there. He's still struggling, pushing himself up. Oh, and he's just come off there. Looks like he's sort of getting closer and closer though. Brush is coming
really
in there.
opening up. So the one thing he can do to assist is bring the left hand, I think, into the textured wall. Just using the wall and pulling on it like a Gaston with the left hand should help take some pressure off that one leg squat, which is, you know, really hard. He's trying to squat out like 3 or 4 mil of plastic.
Liz having a solid crack on the Thunderburst there, using a bit of a more undercling method, which we did. Wow, that is sensational effort there from Liz. She's lashed the zone. She will be awarded the zone for that effort. And then just struggling a little bit on transferring her weight over as Jessie's working his way back up the arete here now. Oh, and he's just come off latching the top there. That's so frustrating.
So it's really interesting. We saw like Chase. Well, we barely saw Chase, but we saw like Chase and Khosrow. They just come out and smash this M3, and Jessie's struggling with it a little bit more. What do you think's the difference there? Like, it's hard to say, but...
Yeah, really not sure. Maybe it's just confidence in trusting your feet, using that counterbalance. Jessie looks like he's still trying to go at this with a bit more of a dynamic sort of throw to the top, whereas you really look like from Khosrow's attempt that you have to go quite slow, stay in control. Hoping that Liz can pull out another solid attempt here. Really good method here, actually underclinging the Thunderburst. Just had to get a little bit higher there. 6 seconds left on the clock. Both climbers are on the wall. Oh, she's just latched that. Oh, very good effort slamming them
Really
out there.
good effort, but she took
Great
the zone,
shot.
which could prove to be pretty crucial on that
yeah,
boulder.
Definitely. It looks like so far the zones are actually quite valuable in this round.
Yeah, especially for the females. There's some really hard zonage.
Jessie just popping off there. Excellent
So
effort.
close. That's heartbreaking. But he's still in a really good position because he topped the first boulder.
Oh, this is great. I'm struggling to keep track of who's doing what.
And that's the best metric for a great final, isn't it, Pat? Like if you're struggling to know who's winning, that means it's a big mixture of tops and zones and lots of different styles. And
we can see there, Chase has sneaked into first place momentarily with his 2 tops of boulder 2 and 3. We have yet to see Sam come out and try this one. Jessie sneaked up to 3rd place with that zone.
So Sam's in a preliminary second there. He's still got to attempt the 3rd boulder.
Correct, yeah. Utah taking a second to just refamiliarize himself with the boulder there. Bit of a step up there for him, being of a slightly shorter stature. See if he can step up into the position there. No trouble for him. And that's the controlled start, so he's off and away. He steps up very slowly. Trying to get just anything he can out of that blocked undercling crimp. That looks rude, Dan.
Yeah, it's pretty rude.
Bit of a step over there. Oh, and he's just pivoted off. Over on the female boulder, we've got Anna powering up through the Thunderbirds there.
So Anna's got a lot of power. Just watching her climb yesterday. Just huge amounts of power on the steep boulders and stuff. So I think she, Charlotte, and Emma are going to do really well on this 3rd boulder. Utah has just started again. So it's really hard at home to gauge just how bad these holds are, as he just shows us actually by just breathing wrong, I think, and coming.
Just breathing at the wrong second will pivot you off the wall.
Just keep breathing.
I'm not sure if we can start singing copyrighted music on the live stream, Dan. We might get blocked. Question coming in from Neil Genman. Is the zone the same as a bonus? Dan, do you want to shed some light on that?
Well, yeah, I guess it is.
I guess it was just a term
it was a
change.
Term change.
When the scoring system was slightly tweaked,
IFSC,
right?
Yeah. So the bonus is it's essentially
the same
thing.
serves the same purpose.
So yeah, same purpose, different name. Apparently, bonus didn't make huge amount of sense. Zone makes more sense for something that's a bonus to the scoring system. Yeah.
And I'm just struggling to...
Good question, Neil. How are you feeling today, mate? You climbed really well yesterday.
Let us know, Neil. It's great to see you in action.
So Utah changing his method, going for this palm down on that terrible...
So he's using
sloper.
the same method there as Khosrow, going down with the palm and then leaning across. Might be a slightly more secure version of the beta if you're a slightly shorter climber.
Yeah, definitely. So Khosrow short as well. Pretty good arm span. Utah pretty short. I think he can do it. I just hope he doesn't run out of time here because it's well within him to do this boulder. Such a good technical climber.
Anna just doing a really powerful throw there. She looks like she's, got the idea. She's getting close. Just has to try a little bit harder, squeeze a little bit harder.
Okay, Utah just coming off, trying to adjust that left hand to get something out of the undercling between those two little crimps.
Anna looking more and more confident on the start of this boulder. I think she's started to figure out which parts are good to hold, which part will actually help you pull through to the next section.
Yeah, they taper to get narrow in the top, so you just need to take a bit of time to find which part of the pinch you want to hold and you can get the most power out of. Now, I'm not sure if she was awarded the zone on that attempt. What do you think?
It's really hard to say. We'll have to maybe check the score when it comes up or confer with the judge. It's really hard to judge on a move like that what constitutes as control of the hold.
Yeah, it's a tricky place to have zone.
Ooh,
So
really
holding on
tough.
for quite a while there. I think she'd be giving it for that attempt.
I think I would award her zone for that try at least, yeah.
So Utah on the wall after his 4-minute buzzer has gone off. Oh, just not able to stick that boulder. So Utah and Jesse, unfortunately not sticking men's 3, but our first 2 competitors, Chase and Jose, were able to. In the women's, no one topping yet, but zone most likely taken, we think, by Anna and definitely taken by Elizabeth. So come to our second last pairings. Alistair Early, local boy.
How do you think Al's going to fare on this slab, Dan?
I think he's going to float.
You reckon he's going to walk up it?
He's going to float. This man is, his hips are good. He's got really, really good balance, good flexibility, and good grip strength, which I think are the 3 things that you probably need to top this boulder.
Charlotte just stepping up to the women's 3rd boulder here. Wasting no time, pulling on. Looking quite confident, gripping those Thunderbirds. Feeling it out. Opting for the bit of an undercling. Move there with the right and then see if she can stick to sleep. Wow, just struggling to stay on there.
But a really good first effort. She'll definitely
Really solid.
take that
She
zone,
knew
I think.
exactly what she had to do. She went at it confidently.
Look at the confidence on this guy moving across the slab. Like,
Wow.
oh, guys, just got to remember at home, that's
Ooh.
got no texture on it. He made it
That's
look like Sunday roast.
That's yum. That's confidence.
Yeah.
Leaping across the slab to a dual texture hold. Amazing top by Alistair
That
early
was
there.
such a great
Great
top.
flash.
Could really see that battle as he was trying to squat.
Yeah,
and, like,
I mean, he
open.
did not look phased. He came out, he brushed the holds, made sure the slab was primo condition, and then just like you predicted, Dan, he waltzed up that slab.
So now we'll have a lot of focus back on Charlotte on female 3. Remember to message in. Panda's got the phone open and ready to take your comments. If there's something you'd like to know about the boulders, something you'd like to know about how we made them.
We've actually got a question from Daniel, not the commentator who's sitting next to me, a different one. But can you tell us more about the route setting process and how you start setting each boulder? I assume you are asking in regards to the finals. Dan, do you want to maybe have a crack at that? How do you start? Maybe start by telling us how you plan out the finals. What are you trying to see and what are you trying to achieve?
I like to give myself a few parameters to work within. So spectacle, fairness for the athletes, good mixture of styles is really important for me for a finals. Yeah, and just a lot of epicness, basically, making them look really cool and inspiring for the crowd as well. That's usually how I would start, with keeping that in mind, and then go from there to selecting where I want the finals to be, signing people to a team to create the male boulders and the female boulders.
So once you have your filter or requirements for each individual boulder, let's say this one, for example, we knew before we started putting holes on the wall
Come on,
we
Charlotte.
wow, Charlotte having a really good attempt there. She managed to bypass the jump, and she is now just working away. Oh, just coming off the match on the zone there, but at least she got awarded the zone. So in setting an individual boulder, once you have all the parameters and the filter or the characteristics that you want, and you know what you want out of the boulder, how do you start putting holes on the wall and achieving that goal?
Well, we get together as a team and we decide like 4 different styles we'd like to see. So, for example, we said slab over here, really balancy. Very powerful and strong for the men's too, really tensiony. The first one, dynamic, awesome opening for the show. Charlotte taking the zone.
Awesome. She's found that sneaky drop knee, which was the intended beta for this climb.
Hope she can take the top
awesome
here.
effort here from Charlotte. Bit of a foot slip there. Holy moly, this is
Please
exciting.
hold on, Charlotte.
And she's got the top. That was an amazing effort. Wow, that was amazing. Charlotte showing off just how powerful she is there, making those pinches look like jugs.
Just got to pause there and just grab my jaw off the ground, Pap. That was really cool.
I don't know if, yeah, luckily the camera's not on us right now because I'm grinning ear to ear. That was such an impressive, there we are. That was incredible. A really cool attempt. Really good show of powerful climbing and skill. Yeah, that was really impressive.
It was amazing. A foot slipped on that second last.
The foot slip at the last second, really cool.
So here's Sam and Emma Horan coming out, our last competitors for the 3rd round. So Sam's in a really great position, as is Emma. Both of them with 2 tops. Sam opting for the palm down method, moving across to the zone.
Looking very solid on the slab here.
Okay, so squat coming up.
And just like you said there, Dan, using the side of the wall to just add a little bit more friction, bring that balance over the foot there. Really smart slab climbing from Sam there, just dropping
absolutely.
it at the last
And
second.
you know, just a bit of that hometown advantage potentially as well. Like he sets here.
He knows the terrain.
He knows the terrain. He knows the depth of that wall. You know, he knows it's 8.23 degrees slab. So that's really going to play into his favor pretty well. So Emma.
Emma having a crack at the Thunderbirds now. See if she can match Charlotte's effort.
You can just see Sam in the background too.
Emma just coming off there halfway up.
Sam opening up for this squat again.
Looking a bit more in control this time, and he's got the top. He looks relieved with that. Solid effort. And looks like there might be some objection from the judge there, as Sam just slapped the top hole, but not actually matched it. Looks like a bit of discussion happening between the judges there.
Yeah, I don't remember notably seeing any lack of control. So let's see what happens.
Looks like he's being called up on it, and he's going for another attempt.
He'll get it done anyway.
Now, a less experienced competitor might really sort of get psyched out by that, having to sort of complete a boulder again. But it looks like Sam really.
Well, let's touch wood and hope that doesn't happen to him, because he could be a little tired in that right leg.
Oh,
really going to have to fight.
He's got it. He's got it. You happy now?
Oh,
He looks down at the judge.
What a grin. The grin
Bit of
of
a
the
cheeky
year.
look back at the judge there. Is that good enough for you?
So that's
good enough for us.
That gives Sam 3 tops. Now, my quick math isn't good, but maybe someone at home can do the maths for us. Can anyone...
If anyone can pull out some quick maths.
Can Sam be taken from this point? So
Not too sure. Maybe bring up the scorecard and we'll see if we can troubleshoot this, Dan.
we need Sam. Usually Sam's the one we turn to work this out.
He's sort of the Rain Man of like attempt mathematics. Emma's still having a crack here at the female 3rd boulder.
We know it's close, so I think Chase can still do it. but he'd have to top the fourth really fast, and Sam would probably have to miss topping that fourth.
Oh, Emma
Emma
trying
really
for a
close.
heel hook method
We need
there.
Campbell Harrison. Message in, mate.
I think I saw him tune in earlier, so he'll probably be watching. And that's a timer gone out for Emma, so she is on her last attempt here. Working her way up the underclings here of those Thunderbirds, mincing real hard. Oh, and just failing to grab that right hand high enough to get the good purchase on it. Really impressive top from Charlotte. Just goes to show how hard that boulder is. One top. And that one top has actually taken Charlotte into second place.
So bring up our scorecard there. Got to go fast, Pat.
You can see Emma is still sitting in first place with 2 tops and a zone. And Charlotte, having failed to zone on the second boulder, she now has 2 tops sitting in second place. And Liz coming up with 1 top and 1 zone in third place there. Anna Davey sitting with 1 top. Grace with 1 top as well.
Gonna see if we can quickly switch to our men's.
We are now coming to the last boulder of the round. It feels like this round has gone really quick, Dan.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's been very exciting, which has made it go really fast. There's always been something to watch, which has been super awesome as well. So we just switched to our men's really quickly. So Sam in the lead, 3 tops. Chase and Alistair both with 2 tops. Jesse, Josso, and Utah with 1 top each. So if Chase can do this boulder relatively fast, he throws a lot of pressure back onto Sam and definitely to Alistair to make a podium spot.
Here we see the stalactite back in action. 4-point start, so he's basically got to be starting straddling that thing. And then it looks like it moves to some really physical, sort of steep volume compression. Doesn't look like there's a whole lot of holds on those things.
Yeah, hopefully we can get a slightly wider shot in a sec.
Coming around the arete there slightly.
Really just squeezing those 2 volumes. Awesome compression and grip strength.
Really, really strong. A lot of dependency on friction. There's not a whole lot of grip on those volumes, so you hope that it's not too hot in the gym, that your skin's pretty good. Grace working out the starting position here on the the 4th women's boulder, and just coming off there.
Seems to figure out the toe hook really, really fast. I mean, it's pretty intuitive. There's not much else to do with your right foot.
Yeah, so the start on the women's boulder is a bit of a sort of off-balance step up. You have to coordinate a toe hook catch on the right, as well as 2 hands matching a left-facing volume. But she seemed to have no trouble with that. Chase just struggling to make any use of those volumes there. Grace is back on for another attempt. Pressing up into that volume, trying to keep tension on her feet, and she's got the step across there. She's able to transfer weight over to the sloper. And now it looks like she has to make her way upwards with a bit of a press over that volume. And the feet just sort of disappear. She's pressing against that volume. Really good effort here from Grace. This is going to be a bit of a test of your slab skills. It's quite a vertical wall, so the volumes just offer a very slight balancing point. But she's got the zone there.
She's taking the zone, which is really important. So, gonna see her walk across these volumes. She needs to take it slow, balance really well. And a really cool move at the end, I think. Hopefully she can get there and do it.
Yeah, so this boulder looks like it's sort of quite secure the whole way if you just don't move too fast. You don't do anything sudden. Grace really taking her time there to line up this edge that's facing downwards against her feet.
So Chase still
Look
resting.
At that slow motion,
so don't
lean
worry
across.
about
She's got the crimp. Look at the ecstatic. It's almost like she's topped the boulder already. She looks very comfortable. Pressing over to the top hold. And she's got it. And she looks super stoked with that. We can hear a bit of a ole, ole, ole chant from the crowd. Yeah, she looks well stoked with that. Maybe we can see how Chase is going over there with the fourth men's bowler. Still eyeing up the holds, having a minute to think.
So this is just pure, real aggressive volume wrestling, isn't it, Patrick? So really just like raw style of climbing where you've got to squeeze and slap slopers.
It's
pretty Castle Hill.
It's not pretty. It's just like hold on for dear life, slap your way up, hold on to anything you can. Chase getting a little bit more height there on the boulder. I think he took the zone there.
He took the zone there for sure.
And then he's pulled on for a off the timer attempt, so this will be his last try.
So it looked like he just ditched trying to put the right heel hook in there and just went for a ping for that little hold that's screwed on the top of that volume, and he had enough power to hang on to it.
Yeah, showing some incredible finger strength. That screw-on hold is actually upside down, so there's no edge to it. You're just holding the back of the hold.
Yeah, it's, if anyone wants to look it up, it's flat hold schmarotzer. Hope I said that right. It's
if you
just
can name the
super
exact
flat.
model, that would be really impressive. Oh, just pinging off there. Maybe a little bit too much force jumping up to it, but nevertheless, that's Chase's time in the finals round. Very good effort. Some impressive tops from him. Maybe we can see where he's currently sitting with that effort. Next up, we've got Jess Pena.
So
coming
Chase
out.
sitting in second, 2 tops and 3 zones in 2 attempts for the tops, 3 attempts for the zones. So unable to get on top of Sam Bowman there. So let's switch back to our second competitors, Jess Pena and Khosrow Hashamzadeh, and let's see how they go. I reckon this is a boulder that's really going to suit Khosrow for sure. This man's got some sloping strength and just stupid oodles of power.
Khosrow looks like he's starting quite sort of far off to the side of the volume using that sidewall there. And he just managed to slip off there, looking a little bit more insecure than Chase, who was straddling the volume on the sort of more positive side.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's kind of a bicycle you make on the Stally, which Khosrow just missing there on his first attempt. Really stabilizes your body as you go out over the lip.
Jess, I believe on her first attempt here, moving across nicely across the slab. And
Using
then
Shinaldo.
lots of pressure through the feet into the hands there, and then working your way up the slab. Takes the zone quite comfortably. And now just has to work the balance here to lean across. Just tiptoeing across the foot there. And it looks like she's either ignored that undercling or just missed it completely, but doesn't seem to have affected her at all. Very interesting method there, and she's got the top hold, and it should be no problem to match. That's a great flash from Jess there.
Wow, that was really daring of Jess to reach out and take that finishing volume, but it worked for her. Yeah, she definitely knew, being a taller female competitor, that she might get a bit bunched and off balance going down low, so she went up high. So Khosrow readjusting to find some sort of bicycle now on the Stally.
And it looks like he's got that start sorted out. He's now into the volumes on the upper face. Just trying to figure out how he's meant to maneuver these really slick volumes. He's got the zone. That's great control of the zone hold.
Using the heel hook.
Oh, great power there from Khosrow. He looks very comfortable on those higher volumes. And he's got that top.
He takes the top.
Great effort.
That was, it didn't look like much, but that heel hook was on, 3 or 4 mil of hold there, and just so
really
impressive.
Solid effort. And I mean, again, comparing it to Chase's attempt, Chase having climbed great in this round, seemed to struggle a lot more on that boulder, and Khosrow just making him look so easy. Really hard to gauge who's going to perform well on what boulder. So that's awesome.
Well, we hope it's been awesome for you two at home watching. Let us know if you've liked the boulders as well on the live stream.
Another quick shout out to our sponsors. We've got powered by Cliff Bar, naming sponsor, and we've also got major sponsors Scarpa and K2. And we're also supported by Scent, Chalk, Black Diamond, and Pinnacle Sports. Could not happen without the support of you guys, so thank you so much. Let us know how you guys are liking the live stream. We're sort of heading towards the end of the stream now. Last boulder for our boys and girls. And we've got Liz here on the women's 4th boulder, having no trouble with the tricky start. She's well into the mantle now.
And Jessie just pulling on to M4 as well. So, like, do you think the girls would have collaboratively thought, hey, maybe this is like a slightly easier boulder together in forerunning or viewing?
I think so.
Not forerunning, so viewing or isolation?
I think they all could probably have read that boulder. It's not a particularly complex boulder. It's maybe one of those boulders that you kind of have to feel out slightly because it does have that really sort of balancing tipping point, as we saw Liz just come off there. But I think all of them would have gone into it sort of knowing, you know, this is very doable. We should all sort of be able to have a decent crack at this. And yeah, maybe coming out with a bit of confidence towards the end of the round.
Yeah, or a lot of pressure, because if you know it's an easier boulder, you feel the need that you definitely have to top it, because you know that most of the athletes are going to top that boulder. So yeah, it's also quite a bit of pressure when you know there's an easy one at the end of the round.
For sure. Liz on her second attempt here, she's leaned across, past the zone now, she's well into the second half of the boulder. Looks like she's probably going to get the top here. And Easy does it. Maybe just a bit of nerves, as you were saying, Dan, on her first attempt there. She just moved a little bit too quick.
She really knew if she wanted to stay up the top of the pack, she would need to top that boulder. So a bit of nerves probably coming into play. So we got Jessie back on M4. Big man Raffini. I think he's going to power up to this zone.
Oh, just coming off the zone there. Do you think that zone would have been awarded there? He did hang for,
I don't think so, because I think what you need to do is display that you can make more movement with your body, another movement to display the control. So I don't think so, but we could be wrong. We're actually sitting in a booth, not actually live watching the final. Might have looked a bit different out there to the judge. But it won't matter for Jessie, because all he wants to do is top the boulder. So he's going to go real hard at it.
Looks a bit more in control this attempt. He's definitely got the zone on that try. And he's moving into that big side pull volume. Looks like he's through the thick of it.
It's not over. You still got to do another wrap, which is quite hard.
It's just sliding slightly down those
A
volumes.
little bit of humidity in the house. We are up in the north
tropical
in Capricornia. He takes the top. Fantastic
Excellent
from
work.
Jessie Raffini.
Excellent work from Jessie there.
So that should move Jessie into 2 tops. He topped the first boulder and the last boulder.
Next up, we've got Anna Davey coming out for the women's 4th boulder. And I believe Utah coming out for the men's. Looking very tropical in that t-shirt there, Utah.
Fantastic irony from our southern brothers and sisters in Victoria.
Looks like he just stepped off a cruise and just happened to walk into a bouldering competition. And it was just like, hey, what's this about? I'll give that a crack.
It's Kentucky Fest for Utah tonight.
Tiki Fest 2019.
Okay, so though legitimately, I think both these guys got a really good chance of this boulder. Let's see how they go. Utah, this will suit his style really well. Really powerful, very light competitor. So he's going to be able to swing around and hang on to those volumes quite well.
Yeah, I think grip strength is not an issue for him, so those volumes are probably quite comfortable for him. We'll see how he goes. We're just focusing on Anna's mantle here on the women's boulder. She's got that zone. She had a bit of a slip on her pull-on attempt, so I wonder if that will affect her attempt score. But she looks pretty confident up on the slab here. Great balance. She leans across. And looks like it's going to be no trouble for her. She's reaching across there. Looks very stable. Yeah, she knows it's good. Hangs it. She's got that. So yeah, curious if she was awarded a flash or whether that slight slip at the start will cost her an attempt. Let's see how Utah's traveling over here.
Now he's going to release that bicycle. Look at the wrap strength on that left wrist.
Incredible.
Hope he can get the thumb to just adjust there. He's got it now, so see what he does. Going to try and heel hook, I think, on the right side.
Oh, it just slips off there, placing the heel.
It's really interesting watching him and Chase. I think they've got definitely, it's well within them to do the boulder, but it's just making those couple of decisions on how you want to do it. And putting the right heel up was definitely hard for a lot of us running it, but it might suit someone like Utah. So he's going through a process of making those decisions on what's going to suit him to take that zone and hopefully take the top. You think he's going to continue with the heel hook or just go for a big ping, like line up that zone and try and hit it?
I mean, looking at how he's just compressing between those volumes, I think he's feeling pretty solid. Looks like he's just keeping with that compression. He's got the zone there. And I mean, it looks like no trouble for him. It might have just been a momentary slip in focus on the previous attempt, but
it's a bit of a puzzle. There's a lot of holds and volumes. Well, not holds, a lot of volumes on the wall there.
Lots of angles coming at you, lots of geometry, knowing which angle to take.
Yeah, it's like trigonometry in year 12, like on the wall there. Like
I wouldn't know.
Oh. You didn't do maths?
I don't think I did trigonometry.
Oh.
It's more of a maths A kid.
Okay.
Anywho.
So Utah on his way to topping. He just needs to take this slow and he should get there.
No trouble for the top section for Utah. He's got that top there. Go get yourself a pina colada, mate. You've earned it.
Crowd goes wild for Utah. He's definitely a crowd favorite. Even though he's only been part of the Urban family for a short time, he's really got a big hero status, big following down in Collingwood tonight.
Such a lovely guy too. Just comes off every bowler, smiling, having the greatest time. Yeah, absolute pleasure to have around. So really great to see him come up to Brisbane for the Boulderfest as well.
Okay, so we've come to our second last pair, Charlotte and Alistair. Let's see how they go. So Al taking a bit of time using the brush. Could be like he wants to feel out the angles of some of the volumes. Could be that he knows it's a little bit humid and volumes don't mix well with humidity. Let's see what that's all about. Charlotte pulling on with the toe hook straight away. Now making like a push-pull with her hands to try and release that toe hook.
Seeing slightly different better from Charlotte here. She looks like she doesn't want to go that toe hook. But she's out now. She's gotten through that starting.
She's got awesome shoulder strength. She was able to release that toe hook, just putting it in her shoulders, doing an elevated doors sort of move.
Yeah, as we saw on the third bowler, she's quite strong in the back, so no problem for her. She works her way up through the mental move here. She's taken the zone. I think we'll see a pretty comfortable top here unless she has a bit of a slip.
She needs to do is just take it slow and she should get there.
Very solid effort there from Charlotte. Believe that was a flash for Charlotte, but we'll have to double check that later.
The top of the female boulder has like a spiky stegosaurus sort of effect going on at the top of the wall. Maybe we'll get another shot of it when Emma's on. But Pat, what's the deal with that? The spiky sort of look at the top of the...
Oh, yes, the Iron Throne hiding behind the final hold on the women's bowler. It was just a bit of sort of creative creative outlet, I think, for the setters of that boulder. They wanted to create sort of like a little throne sort of crown piece for the last boulder. Alistair looking very comfortable on these volumes here.
Oh, he just needs to get to that grey one, and he
He's
does.
got a very strong wrap there.
He hit that zone with his back 3 fingers. I don't think he wanted to do that, but he just wants to top it so bad he kept going. Making light work of that. He wants to hold the end of the stally. Don't we all? It's a good feeling.
Oh,
he
we
takes
love
the
it.
top.
We love the stally.
So you can see Liz and Al having a hug. Competitors coming off the wall down there and just celebrating because just an epic round for them. So many people topping, not topping, different variations of that on different boulders. So I bet they're not even sure really what the result is at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I'm struggling to keep track of who's doing what, and we've got our, you know, Star Trek Enterprise Command Center back here.
We've got Commander Worf to our right.
Commander Warp handling the screens to our right. And now we have our final climbers coming out for the final climb of the finals round. Emma Horan and Sam Bowman.
So it looks to me like Sam, if he tops it, he definitely wins with 4 tops. If he doesn't top it, but he takes the 4th zone.
Emma taking a slip off the start of boulder there.
It would seem that Al would win the competition.
Yeah, it does not look like he's struggling at all with those volumes, looking very comfortable.
Just taking his time. He knows he can do it, and he doesn't want to fluff a body position, so just feeling him out.
Looks a little bit...
Using the green one to switch his wrap there. That was pretty
really
cool.
smart. Really smart climbing, staying in control.
And he's chosen the bat hang.
Okay, please don't break your neck on live stream there, Sam.
You've got work tomorrow, Sam. Just be careful,
We do
mate.
need you to reset about 30 boulders tomorrow to keep the gym operational, but fantastic effort there from Sam Bowman. Emma still going on the 4th women's boulder here. Let's see if we can cut to the action happening there. She's worked her way through the starting position. I believe this may be her 2nd attempt. And it looks like her shoelaces come undone, so hopefully that doesn't cause her any trouble.
So we'll celebrate more in a sec, but Sam Bowman winning the Boulderfest 2019 powered by Cliff Bar. Alistair early in 2nd. Chase in 3rd place, but it's all about Emma at the moment. She knows she needs to get this boulder done so that she can definitely take that crown. You can see the Iron Throne sitting above the green volume there like a Stegosaurus.
Which one's the Stegosaurus? That's the one with the, like the long neck and the spikes, or is it?
And she does it easily. She was always going to do that boulder. That was awesome top from Emma Horan.
That was just a Jurassic effort. And that wraps up the climbing action of the Boulderfest Finals round. Tremendous. That was really cool.
Pat,
really exciting.
I feel so good right now. That was just awesome to watch. Like, it came down to the wire a bit. Emma and Sam always dominant, but a big mixture of different athletes topping different problems made it really exciting for the crowd. And like we said, really hard to keep track of actually, which we know is means there's a good amount of different problems and styles on the wall.
Definitely, definitely. For the women, Emma and Charlotte, so close in their attempts and their tops and awards. But yeah, but that's it. That's it for the climbing. I'm speechless. I think from a route setting point of view, I'm really happy with how that ran for the ladies round. What do you think about the men's?
Yeah, it was really great. Pretty close to as we predicted. A lot of tops to be had, but in a lot of different number of attempts. Sam doing his thing and just showing his dominance over all styles and getting 4 tops there. Just
incredible.
So strong and, you know, just so dimensional. He was able to really make short work of the slab and the second boulder. you know, it would have been really, really close if he just missed getting that first boulder. He got it on his last attempt after the clock went off. Very, very exciting. We hope you've enjoyed it. Maybe
Really
we'll go
cool.
through the scores once, one more time.
Yeah, we can see the scores come up here on the screen. We'll have a podium ceremony in a minute, but for now we can show you that Emma Horan is the winner of the females category in Open A for this Boulderfest with 3 tops and 1 zone. In 17 tries for the tops and 19 attempts for the zone. Charlotte Gunn coming in second place with 3 tops. Elizabeth Caskelli takes out 3rd place, 2 tops and 1 zone. Anna Davey coming in 4th with 2 tops. And Grace coming in with 2 tops as well. Higher attempt score there than Anna, placing her in 5th. And Jess Penner in 6th place there with a top on the final boulder there. For the men, let's see if we can bring the men up on the screen. And as Dan mentioned, we've got Sam Bowman in 1st place there with 4 tops, cleaning out the round. Really great effort there from Sam Bowman. Alistair Early coming in 2nd place with 3 tops and 1 zone. Chase Gatland, 4 zones. Sorry, I'm reading that wrong, Dan. Chase.
You just park it. I didn't it. So
this Newtowner has hit me pretty hard, Dan. I'm not gonna lie.
So the men's looks like in the end, Sam Bowman with the only athlete to top all 4 boulders, 4 tops, 4 zones, 13 attempts for those 4 tops. Alistair Early, 3 tops, 4 zones, 6 attempts to take those 3 tops. Chase, our Kiwi climber, 2 tops, 4 zones. Awesome performance from him. Jesse Raffini, big man Raffini, 2 tops, 4 zones, 5 attempts. Josue Hashamzadeh, 2 tops, 4 Zs. It's all in the roll. 6 attempts to take those 2 tops. And Utah, just unlucky today. Definitely could have gone a different way for Utah, but still a great result. 2 tops, 3 zones in 4 attempts. So our bottom 4, really, really close. Came down to attempts on their zonage mostly. Utah with 1 less zone than the other 3 guys.
Really tight for the lower field. And that wraps up. So now we can see the crowd just hanging out, waiting for the podium ceremony to begin. Let us know in the comments of the live stream what you thought. Any comments are appreciated. Let us know which bowler was your favorite, which climber blew your mind.
Which athlete
what was your favorite moment,
looked
Dan?
really cool?
What do you think?
Oh, I gotta say, when Sam took that M1, you know, I thought he was maybe done for, but really took it in that overtime there, and it was just amazing because we knew that there'd be so much pressure coming from the other athletes, and to take that first boulder, be one of only 2 people to take that boulder and do it in overtime was really, really cool. So
yeah, definitely lots of great moments to be seen there. Quick thanks again to our sponsors, naming sponsor Cliff Bar, who powered the competition. We also had major sponsors Scarpa and K2 supporting us, so huge thanks to you guys. Could not be possible without your support. And also support from Scent Chalk, Black Diamond, and Pinnacle Sports. Really appreciate all the sponsors coming on and helping us put on just a fantastic event. It's probably the highlight of my climbing calendar every year, and it just seems to get better and better, and it's all thanks to you guys, so thank you very much.
yeah, definitely this one pretty special. 10 years for the Boulderfest, part of the Urban Climb brand. We're going to have, there's obviously an appeals period we've got to wait for, then there'll be a podium, some speeches. There'll be an official sort of after party down the road at Scratch Bar on Park Road if you'd like to come by, meet one of your new finalist heroes, or come party with a route setter who's probably pretty chuffed right now. Come meet the team. Lastly, we've got to have a big shout out to Again, all of the route setters, yourself, Pat, Blair, Mitch, Genya, Media, Will Hammerslar.
Tremendous effort. Tremendous
probably
effort by
forgetting
everyone on the
someone
team.
right now, but these guys did such a great job bringing this awesome competition, but spectacle to you. We're really proud of them here.
Huge thanks also to all the volunteers, all the people who didn't necessarily compete, but just showed up to be part of the event in any capacity, whether it be scrubbing holds, helping out with registration. Everyone who just shows up to be part of the event is really appreciated. Couldn't be happier with the turnout this year. I'm Patrick Bander.
I'm Daniel Gordon.
I believe this is us signing off. I don't know how much more talking we are expected to do, but I'm ready for another beer.
Yeah, I think we should get out there and celebrate with everyone. So,
signing off. Till next year.
Yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.
Bye.